Hey everyone, Adam Shar here from Bravura Media Company. Today I've got another vintage map for you guys. It is a map of Minneapolis, Minnesota that was originally produced in 1879. As you can see, it is a bird's eye perspective map in that we get to see changes in landscape, we can see vegetation, we can see building architecture, we get to see horse and buggies and people on the streets. We get to see a three-dimensional perspective of the city of Minneapolis. We're going to dive right in. We're going to kind of zoom in and explore this map, but first I want to give you a brief history about Minneapolis. Minneapolis was originally settled by Dakota Sioux Indians, and it eventually led the European exploration, more specifically French explorers discovered the area in 1680. After some time, though, the United States was formed, and in 1819, a nearby United States Army base was built. It was Fort Snelling. And this led to the United States government pursuing to purchase land around the Mississippi River from the Dakota Sioux tribe. More specifically, the tribe was called the Madawakatan. I hope I pronounced that right. This, after they purchased the area around the Mississippi from the Dakota Sioux, growth kind of started to blossom, and to which Minneapolis was able to incorporate itself as a city in 1867. Now, as you can notice, this is the Mississippi River. We're just looking at it right here, and it's a very unique aspect of the Mississippi River because it holds one of the highest waterfalls on the Mississippi. And this actually led to many industries and growth in the area. More specifically, in the beginning, it was sawmills. Sawmills were thriving in the infancy of Minneapolis to the point where the energy from the water generated 17 different mills. Other industries did flourish. And they ranged, I believe, from anywhere from flour mills, cotton mills, paper mills, railroad machine works, iron works. A lot of those businesses laid on the western side of the Mississippi. More specifically, the more predominant industry after sawmills, after some time, was flour mills. I mean, flour mills just exploded, largely because of the amount of harnessed hydropower coming from the Mississippi River. Minneapolis was well known for the immense amount of harnessed hydropower, and for this, a lot of the grain producers in the Midwest, which were not far away from this geographical aspect, the hydropower, the Great Plains wasn't that far away. They were actually able to cheaply ship grains to Minneapolis, which could be produced into flour. And this led to the formation of major American companies, General Mills in Pillsbury. I mean, this is the birthplace of those industries. So flour, more predominantly than sawmills, flour was really big in the area. But sawmills, throughout its growth, had a big impact on it. So let's dive right in. We're going to explore this map. And right away we can see just how built up Minneapolis was. We can see kind of how the rapids were right over here. But if you notice, if we zoom in on the river, what are all these little dots right here? Well, those are logs. Like we said before, the sawmills were just cranking out lumber, and we can just see it being shipped down. This is going southward down the Mississippi. Very cool. We've got some numbered locations. Let's look down at the key. Oh boy, we are in for a treat. Man, 124 labeled locations. My goodness. Very rare. I don't see this many amount of locations labeled on maps typically. But I mean, look at the different industries. Vinegar works. Here's a lumber yard. Carriage and wagon manufacturer. A lot of industries I didn't name off. But let's see if we can find some flour and grain industries. Mississippi Brewery. This might have been a little bit earlier, before the flour industries really started ramping up. There's probably a couple. Union Flouring Mill, Roller Mill. Yeah, there's flouring mills. Maybe not. Around 1879, it looks like you had some flour mills. Courthouse. We've got all the government buildings right here. But I mean, just an immense amount of industries. I mean, amazing. Let's look up a couple of various industries. This looks like a lot. This looks like flour industry right here. But let's look at 79. Let's find out what it is. It's a mill. Triumph Planning Mills. Okay. Not sure what they mean by planning mill. Possibly agricultural in terms of food. So that's my first guess. Let's look at 107. That's a gas company, Gas and Light. 107, very cool. 95. I don't know. It's not even an industry. It's a house, I believe. Let's look. We've got 67 right there. It's right by our, in 67, 69, right by a railroad depot. It's another mill. That's a flour mill. So, remember when we said the Great Plains were shipping grains to farmers? Well, guess what? They're right by the railroad. You can see the railroad right here. So you can see that this was a big hub right here. I'm sure if we looked at more of these different buildings, there would be more flour-related industries. Let's look at 124. 124. We'll take out 124. That's a waterworks. I missed on that one. Let's look at 98. Furnishing shops. Okay, we're missing a couple on our prediction. Do we look up 68? Another mill. I don't know, Washburn Mill. I'd have to look up the business name. It's another mill though, and I'm guessing it's either lumber or it's flour mill. 81. Let's look up one more. Yeah, W.D. Washburn. Washburn, that's a flour company, now that I think about it. That's actually, Washburn was the last name of General Mills. So I just figured that out. The founder of General Mills. So look up his name if you'd like to, but I believe that is the man. So definitely cool. I mean, there's so many. I mean, I could spend hours going over these numbers. I see them. They're everywhere. That's probably a government building because it's 2. It's one of the lower numbers. Yeah, that's City Hall. Yeah. Where are we? 2? Yeah, that's City Hall right here, right by High Street. So, I mean, bridges are illustrated. I mean, I could really go on. I mean, 55, that looks like a church. Look at, I mean, littered with labelings. I love it. We can see a train off in the distance. We can really see the growth of the city of Minneapolis. I mean, obviously, you look at any of these bird's eye maps or maps in general back in the late 1800s, and all you see is built-up industries right by the rivers, right by the railroads. I mean, these were the ways to transport goods, and they were the only ways. And you just see these built-up industries right around these areas. I see it every single bird's eye map I see. It's just the same thing. Looks like we've got some cabling going over to here. What's 82? I just want to look up one more. 82. This says Levitt and Chase Company. Okay. Alright. Yeah, not too specific, just a business name. So, but definitely a cool map that we have right here. It's just amazing being able to see the building architecture and the streets, and actually being able to see, you know, what everything looked like back in 1879, even with horse and buggies and people on the street. I still find these maps just truly beautiful. There's really something special about these maps. I really do believe that. So yeah, if you'd like to check out more maps with us and you like history, definitely subscribe to our YouTube channel. We do videos like these all the time where we look at old maps of Minneapolis, of cities throughout Minnesota, cities throughout the United States, cities throughout the entire world, old world maps. We cover a lot of vintage maps as well as history. So if you like that sort of thing, definitely subscribe to us. Leave a comment below if you'd like. Share this video. And I will see you guys soon. Okay, take care. All right, bye.